Hello everyone and welcome to PTW Breakdown episode 16. Now tonight we're going to show you some footage from a few hours before the show when the Heenan family arrived to the arena. Welcome everyone to Breakdown episode 16, and you guys just saw in the back, we've already got chaos ensuing here tonight as the Heenan family got into it with Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, I don't even know, but tonight we have a massive show in store. Pyro's going off, everybody's going crazy, the Heenan family already up to no good after they took out Cody Rhodes last episode, but tonight their Scottish warrior Drew McIntyre is in action in the main event as he takes on the Prince Finn Balor. Also, we have the debut of the Samoan bulldozer Umaga as he takes on the high-flying Evan Bourne. Also, one-on-one action, these two big behemoths. It'll be Keith Lee, the Limitless One, taking on Baron Corbin, and also tag team action as well as the former tag team champions, the Hardy Boyz. They take on the Awesome Truth. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna kick off this show as we hear from a man who's got a lot of explaining to do. Last episode, Daniel Bryan attacked Cesaro after Cesaro defeated Kane in our main event. Daniel Bryan, of course, was unsuccessful in his challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. But now Bryan, he made that attack and tried to put everyone on notice. But one man you might not want to put on notice is the World Heavyweight Champion. Or maybe you do in Daniel Bryan's case. But Cesaro, not even letting Daniel Bryan get a word out, he comes out here with a look of determination After last episode, you see the bruising there around his lip. He was attacked by Daniel Bryan, and he's surely gonna have retribution on his mind. And there is another man who's got a lot of pent-up anger for the World Heavyweight Champion Cesaro, the Demon Kane. But right there, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro proposing an Iron Man match for the World Heavyweight title for the first time in PTW. I hope our general manager Edge is listening, because we just had 2 blockbuster matches proposed. At PTW Iron Man for the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time ever, a 30-minute Iron Man match for the title. Also, a massive tag team match, Cesaro and Samoa Joe teaming against Kane and Daniel Bryan, 2 teams I never thought I'd say in PTW. But ladies and gentlemen, we gotta get things ready for our next matchup, our first match of the evening. It is Keith Lee and Baron Corbin. Now these two did get into it a little bit last episode, as Baron Corbin, many are feeling that maybe Corbin a little bit jealous upon the arrival of Keith Lee here in PTW. Keith Lee has certainly come in with a lot of hype, a lot of fanfare, but he has backed it up. He did qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, something Baron Corbin could not do. But also Corbin is a former Intercontinental Champion, and he is trying to maintain his spot on the Breakdown roster. It's a large pecking order here. Every guy fighting for their position on the card. But this man, Keith Lee, his position in this company, it is limitless. As Keith Lee invites us all to bask in his glory, and it is certainly glorious to watch a man like Keith Lee. A man that size should not be able to move the way Keith Lee does. Keith Lee did put on a show in the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. This is our first time seeing him in action since then. But now going one-on-one with Baron Corbin. Keith Lee, relatively new to the Breakdown roster. A lot of names I'd like to see him tangle up with. But now, these two bulls preparing to lock horns to kick off this episode of Breakdown. Keith Lee and Baron Corbin, let's get this one underway. They lock up center of the ring, and now neither man able to gain an advantage as they lock up. They're both just way too strong as they come to a standstill there after the collar and elbow tie-up. And now both men going off the ropes here, and they collide in the center of the ring with no give, no man going down to the other. Keith Lee holding his ground as Corbin wants the ropes, but look at Lee with the leapfrog, and he comes back with the crossbody, and that is just the athleticism of Keith Lee. You will not find many men that size who can do a leapfrog like that. But now Keith Lee trying to take control. Corbin, though, fighting back with a punch in the face, and now goes after him in the corner, but Keith Lee with the splash, and now just the agility, but caught out with that kick, and now Baron Corbin sending him shoulder first in that turnbuckle post, and that is one way Corbin can slow down Keith Lee. But now Corbin, look at this, lifting him up with a sidewalk slam. Massive slam from Corbin. Lee kicks out. I've said there's not a lot of men like Keith Lee, but there are not a lot of men like Baron Corbin either, as Corbin picks him up with that sidewalk slam. And now Corbin trying to take control of this matchup here, trying to slow things down with the Irish whip. Lee comes off the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and Keith Lee, big clothesline. There's another. And now Keith Lee coming off the ropes, and the pounce. Massive pounce from Keith Lee, sending Corbin tumbling to the outside of the ring. Keith Lee now taking control of this matchup. He's set up here in the ropes. Keith Lee now, we're gonna see him fly. Corbin though avoids it, sends him right into that barricade, and now Baron Corbin, deep six, onto the floor. Keith Lee went for that slingshot crossbody, landing on his feet, but then Corbin somehow gets him up for that deep six. His back landing right on that floor. That is not a forgiving bump to take. As now Corbin hoisting Lee up and into the ring. He goes in for the cover. Keith Lee gets the shoulder up there. But now Baron Corbin could be looking to put a stop to Keith Lee's momentum here on Breakdown. As Baron Corbin lining him up, looking for the end of days here. But Keith Lee, that huge double-handed chop right to the chest. And now Lee, he is looking for it, scooping Corbin up, and he's got him up, hoisted for the Spirit Bomb. Spirit Bomb from Keith Lee. That move is already impressive enough, but doing it to a man like Baron Corbin, that's just insane power from Lee. Now Keith Lee, he usually follows that up with the Big Bang Catastrophe, but that doesn't look like it's what he has in mind. Keith Lee going up on the second rope, and Keith Lee, a moonsault.
1, 2, 3.
What a moonsault from Keith Lee. All that weight crashing down onto Baron Corbin. And Keith Lee picks up the win. Well, Baron Corbin certainly held his own here tonight. But it is Keith Lee with the victory, and now you see Damian Sandow and Jake Hager, they're getting a closer look at this match, watching from backstage. But Keith Lee, a massive victory for the Limitless One as he tries to build his stock on Breakdown. Finn Balor trying to find some backup for the main event, but now Headless Man stands by with Apollo Crews. The friendship between Rob Van Dam and Apollo Crews seems to be no more, but one thing I think they can agree upon is they were both laid out by Umaga last episode, and now Umaga gets ready for his in-ring debut against Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne coming down to the ring here tonight. This a very big opportunity for Bourne, where he could certainly prove himself against the Samoan bulldozer Umaga, although it will not be an easy task. But Bourne, last episode we saw him and Aaliyah, they had a little interaction backstage. I'm not gonna speculate anything there, but as far as tonight goes, Evan Bourne in a very similar situation to what Aaliyah was in last episode, going up against a much larger and stronger opponent. But we'll see if Bourne can use that agility and that high flying to see if he can make anything happen here tonight. But if you saw what this man did last episode, Umaga, you would know that it's going to be no easy task for Evan Bourne. He certainly has his work cut out for him against the Samoan bulldozer. Last episode, after an excellent match between Rob Van Dam and Apollo Crews, Umaga, with no prior warning, stormed down to the ring and took out both men, laying out Rob Van Dam with the Samoan spike. Rob Van Dam obviously not in action here tonight after that attack from Umaga last episode, but now Umaga, let's see what he can do in pure one-on-one competition. We know he can bring a lot of destruction, but we'll see what he can do here in his first scheduled matchup against Evan Bourne. As now Umaga going right after Bourne, but Evan Bourne firing back, and now the leg sweep, and Bourne takes Umaga off his feet. Umaga came out swinging, but Evan Bourne just took him right down with that leg sweep, and Umaga is not happy. The Samoan bulldozer not happy at all. He kicks Evan Bourne away, and now Umaga right back to his feet with the giant lariat to Evan Bourne. And Bourne, that's kind of what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to hit those moves there, but as you saw, Umaga, it just takes one from the massive Samoan as he drives Evan Bourne right into the corner. And just like that, Umaga is firmly in control of this matchup. And now look at him, just that guttural yell from the Samoan as he hits that massive hip attack right in the corner. And now Umaga gonna go for the cover.
1, 2.
Evan Bourne kicks out, but Umaga now taking a dominant control over this matchup, going right after Evan Bourne, and now Umaga scooping him up with ease. He's got him up, and now Bourne though onto the apron, caught him with the kick there right to the face, and now Evan Bourne with the springboard right into that head scissors takedown, and Evan Bourne takes Umaga off his feet again, and now he ducks the clothesline, and Bourne sends Umaga to the outside. Umaga sent outside the ring, and Evan Bourne, this could be a huge opportunity for him, as Umaga is dazed on the outside, but here comes Bourne, and Evan Bourne with the massive plancha to the outside, with a double jump off those ropes, and that's just the high-flying ability of Evan Bourne on display. That's why these fans love him, and he is certainly fun to watch. But now Evan Bourne bringing Umaga back in the ring. He could actually do this. He could actually win this matchup, as Evan Bourne now has him in position, and he's climbing up. Could be looking for the shooting star press. He could pull off this massive upset. Shooting star press! But Umaga rolls out of the way. He rolls out of harm's way as Evan Bourne almost pulled off the unthinkable there. But now Umaga pops him up right into a Samoan drop. That raw power on display, throwing Evan Bourne around like a rag doll. And now, picking up the limp body, and Umaga, just like Rob Van Dam, hits Evan Bourne with the Samoan spike.
1, 2, 3.
And that is gonna do it. Evan Bourne put up a valiant effort. There was a moment where I thought he was gonna win it when he went up for that shooting star press. But it was Umaga again with the Samoan spike getting the victory in his in-ring debut. Great effort from Evan Bourne, but it was not enough. But now you see Aaliyah coming down into the ring, and she's consoling Evan Bourne, trying to make sure he's okay after that matchup. Certainly a hard-hitting bout there as Evan Bourne being tended to by Aaliyah. But now Umaga, he's got his eyes on Aaliyah. I don't know what Umaga is. Oh no! Umaga picking her up by the hair. This is Umaga now has got Aaliyah. Evan Bourne is out, and Aaliyah's completely helpless. Umaga, he's not gonna Samoan spike her. No, you can't do that. This is barbaric. This is too much. Umaga, somebody, a chair, and Rob Van Dam with the steel chair to the back of Umaga, thankfully making the save. But now Evan Bourne back to his feet with a drop kick, sends Umaga to the outside, and thank goodness, ladies and gentlemen, thank goodness. These two coming to the aid. I thought we were about to see Umaga, and he was certainly gonna do it. There is no thought behind those eyes. Umaga was about to Samoan spike Aaliyah, who's completely innocent in all this. Rob Van Dam making the save with the steel chair, and then Evan Bourne coming in with the drop kick as well. Thank goodness they made the save there. Rob Van Dam and Umaga. And their feud's certainly nowhere near over. But I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop the Samoan Bulldozer. Ember Moon will be a welcome addition to this women's division, but now we hear from our women's champion, Asuka. Our women's champion is confident, and she's got every right to be. But up next we have tag team action as the Hardy Boyz, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, take on the Awesome Truth. And the Hardy Boyz have been involved in this crazy tag team division as they now head down to the ring. The former tag team champions do believe they are owed a rematch for those tag titles, but they want to earn it the right way. And to do that, they got to win some matches. But speaking of matches, there was, of course, that massive 8-man tag made for the next episode of Brutality, where the Hardy Boyz will get the opportunity to challenge for those tag team championships But of course they did have a run-in with the Awesome Truth last episode, which led to the making of this matchup, where the Awesome Truth believe they also deserve a shot at the New Day and those tag team titles. Every team wants a shot, and every team thinks they deserve it. But the only way to prove it is in that ring, and that is what both these teams aim to do tonight, as the Awesome Truth head down to the ring now. Now the Awesome Truth, they have had some success as a tag team. They've challenged for the Intercontinental title at the past, but this now, they are focused on the tag team championships, and a win over the former tag team champions, the Hardy Boyz, would do wonders for them, and maybe they'd be able to earn a future shot at the titles. The Miz and R-Truth, R-Truth a former US champion, and The Miz has had his own success as a single star in the past, but also going up against the Hardy Boyz, one of the most decorated teams in PTW and in all of tag team wrestling. This matchup should be a good one. As now Jeff Hardy and R-Truth are going to get things started, as The Miz and Matt Hardy look on from their respective corners. As now we get this tag match underway, and now Jeff Hardy ducks a clothesline, but look at the athleticism from R-Truth. But now Jeff Hardy caught him out with that heel kick, and you see the speed on display from these two. Definitely the quicker members of their respective teams. But now Jeff Hardy with the leg drop right into that drop kick. Hardy laying R-Truth out to start this one as he tags in The Miz. But in comes the Hollywood A-lister, The Miz. Those punches right to the face of Jeff Hardy, now off the ropes. Hardy though ducks a clothesline over the twist of fate. Miz though counters into the backside with a cover here. Hardy kicks out, but now The Miz with the DDT. Big DDT from The Miz there. And now Jeff Hardy making the tag. In comes his brother Matt. Matt Hardy ducking the clothesline, and he's going to deliver some punches, and now goes for the DDT, but The Miz throws him off and catches him out with a neck breaker there. And again, these two teams, a lot to prove in this division, as The Miz makes the tag into R-Truth. R-Truth now with a boot right to the face of Matt Hardy, and now coming off the ropes, and R-Truth drops the leg. Big leg drop from R-Truth, in for the cover. Matt Hardy kicks out. Of course, the Hardy Boyz already do have a #1 contendership opportunity on Brutality in that 8-man tag, but the Awesome Truth could insert themselves into that match if they get a win here tonight. I'm just speculating here, but R-Truth looking to lift Matt Hardy up, looking for maybe a suplex there, but Hardy sends him into the corner. The big splash, and he makes the tag into Jeff. And now this one, this is vintage Hardy Boyz right here, as they have him set up for the Poetry in Motion. Poetry in Motion from Jeff and Matt. And now the cover. R-Truth gets that shoulder up. R-Truth keeping the Awesome Truth's hopes alive in this matchup. But the Hardy Boyz definitely do have more experience as a tag team. But it's now Matt Hardy, the legal man. But now goes for the axe handle. Truth though avoids it. And look at the athleticism as he hits that twisting cross body, taking out Matt Hardy. And now R-Truth, we're going to take control of this matchup as Matt Hardy getting back to his feet. R-Truth could be looking for the scissors kick here as he goes off the ropes. Scissors kick. Matt Hardy though avoids it, and it's the side effect. Big side effect from Matt Hardy. Now the cover, and The Miz breaks it up. The Miz making the save there for his tag partner. As now Matt Hardy looks on, R-Truth being helped to his corner, and he makes the tag to The Miz. The Miz now coming in. Matt Hardy though takes him out with the clothesline, and the Hardy Boyz are rolling right now. But wait a minute, what's this? R-Truth is getting the referee's attention. He's trying to tell the ref, I think something might be wrong with his leg. He's trying to get the ref's attention that he's hurt. And if he is hurt, that would be a massive disadvantage for the Awesome Truth. He's trying to point to his leg, and the official trying to tend to R-Truth here. Matt Hardy trying to get the ref to focus on the matchup here as he looks for the twist of fate. But now The Miz, low blow by The Miz. And R-Truth, I think he was faking. R-Truth faking the injury to get the ref's attention, and the skull-crushing finale. And that could do it. But Jeff Hardy makes it the save. Jeff Hardy breaks up the cover at the last minute, and R-Truth, faking that leg injury to distract the ref, almost got the Awesome Truth a victory. But regardless, Matt Hardy is in prone position now, and he is ready for the taking as the Awesome Truth went for the lie detector, but Jeff Hardy pulls Matt Hardy out of the way, pulling him out of harm's way, and Jeff Hardy makes the tag now. Truth caught him with the elbow, but now here's Jeff Hardy, whisper in the wind from Jeff Hardy. And now R-Truth is laid out. Jeff Hardy saved his brother and then hits that whisper in the wind. And now Jeff could be looking for the twist of fate. A twist of fate here on R-Truth. Truth, though, drives into the corner. But Matt Hardy makes the tag. I don't know if Truth saw it. But now Matt Hardy, he's got R-Truth and the twist of fate. They finally hit it. Twist of fate on R-Truth. He is laid out and now making the tag to Jeff and the Hardy Boyz, looking to put this one away. Jeff Hardy climbs up and the Swanton Bomb. And Matt Hardy holding back The Miz as Jeff Hardy gets the cover. Miz can't break it up, and that will do it. The Hardy Boyz pick up a huge win. That'll give them momentum heading in to that 8-man tag on Brutality. The Awesome Truth almost stole this one with their cheating tactics after R-Truth distracted the referee, but the Hardy Boyz pull out the win in the end. But oh, the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder attacking from behind. And we've seen the Revival attack in other tag team matches in these last few episodes. The Revival also involved in that 8-man tag, and they have their own history, their own rivalry with the Hardy Boyz in the past. But now Matt Hardy is all alone in the ring, and now the Shatter Machine from the Revival, and they lay out Matt Hardy after the Hardy Boyz earned this victory. The Revival making a statement, letting the Hardy Boyz know they still see themselves as the top team. They still see themselves as becoming potentially 3-time tag team champions. The Revival laying out the Hardy Boyz after that matchup. But now there is the other team involved in that 8-man tag. The Young Bucks will be teaming with the Hardy Boyz against the Revival and Rusev and Sheamus. And the Young Bucks now coming face to face with Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. That is a matchup I would certainly like to see. But the Young Bucks putting a stop to the Revival's attacks here tonight. PTW Iron Man is going to be one hell of a show, including this matchup for the Women's Championship as Asuka will defend her title against the 9th wonder of the world, China. But this matchup was made official here tonight. The World Heavyweight Champion Cesaro defends against Daniel Bryan for the first time ever in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the World Heavyweight Championship. That one will be spectacular. But also next episode, this one also made official tonight. Cesaro teams with his former rival Samoa Joe against Daniel Bryan and Kane. Also, the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. Dolph Ziggler finally gets his shot against the Heenan Family's Andrade. But also we saw him in action, winning his debut here tonight. But next episode we see him again as Umaga takes on the deranged Goldust. But in tonight's main event, let's get right down to it. It is the Prince Finn Balor taking on the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. And here is the Prince of PTW, Finn Balor. Now tonight, Balor has spent his time recruiting for this matchup, trying to get back up against the Heenan family. We all saw what the Heenan family did to Cody Rhodes. He will be out of action for a significant amount of time. But Balor has tried to ensure that that won't happen to him. He's tried to get help from Dolph Ziggler, who said he would help, but Seth Rollins seemed far less interested, as Rollins and Balor have their own little tension going on between them. One person Balor didn't reach out to, though, was Cody Rhodes' brother, Goldust. Or at least now he calls himself Goldust. He must have got punted in the head by Randy Orton pretty hard last episode. But here now is the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. Now McIntyre and Heenan have said that no matter how much help Balor gives, it will not be enough. And it's hard to deny them when you look at just the physique of McIntyre. He has shown his abilities so far in his short time in PTW. As Drew McIntyre, he in fact pinned Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 3 after hitting him with that Claymore kick. McIntyre, many believe he's already made his mark as part of the Heenan family, but a win in the main event of Breakdown could make an even bigger statement for McIntyre and his career. But we'll see what Finn Balor has to say about that here tonight, because you know Balor is not going down easy. As this matchup now gets underway, Balor looking to lock up the collar and elbow tie up here, and McIntyre quickly overpowers Finn Balor, sending him right into those ropes. But now they lock up again, and once again, McIntyre overpowers the Prince. And now McIntyre just disrespectful shove, but now Balor a slap right to the face, and the punches, the defiant punches to McIntyre. He ducks the clothesline, and here comes Balor with the swing blade. Swing blade from Finn Balor, taking the Scotsman off his feet early, and Finn Balor pointing the guns, showing defiance in his eyes. Finn Balor is not afraid of McIntyre, and he is not afraid of the Heenan family. But now they lock up again, and Balor gets the headlock. McIntyre tries to lift him, but Balor takes him over onto the ground there. McIntyre throws him off, and now McIntyre back to his feet with those massive knife-edge chops, and now huge overhead throw for McIntyre. And that is the advantage that he has in this matchup. Just pure raw strength from Drew McIntyre. As now he scoops up Balor looking for the suplex. Balor though lands on his feet, kick right to the gut, and now here comes Balor off the ropes. McIntyre though avoids another kick, and he just throws him, sends him flying in the air that time, in for the cover. Balor kicks out. But Drew McIntyre taking control here in this matchup. And the Heenan family they have already taken out Cody Rhodes, but in terms of just in-ring action, they suffered a loss last episode when Wade Barrett was defeated by Dolph Ziggler, so you gotta think Heenan and McIntyre both want to get that win back for the Heenan family as he drives his knee right into the spine of Balor there against those ropes. But now, Bobby Heenan now pointing at Finn Balor, and Heenan doing a bit of jaw-jacking from the outside, talking a bit of trash. But now it's just a distraction as McIntyre from behind with the German suplex. And Balor, I know he hasn't been in PTW long, but you gotta know better than to be distracted by Bobby Heenan in a matchup as important as this main event. But now McIntyre looking for the future shock DDT here. Balor though spins out of it, and those chops to the chest. But now McIntyre, a massive chop of his own, and now sending Balor off the ropes. Balor though sunset flips, and now Finn Balor, the stomp right to the chest and the cover. McIntyre kicks out, but Finn Balor, that stomp right to the ribs, trying to wear down McIntyre here. As Finn Balor now, he's got to be looking for one shot here. He is lining up Drew McIntyre, got him in his sights, looking for the shotgun dropkick here. He's pointing the guns, but now McIntyre sending Finn Balor to the outside, crashing onto the floor. Drew McIntyre saw it coming that time, as now going to the outside, looking to continue the assault on Finn Balor. But now Balor turns it around, sending McIntyre right into those steel steps. A huge reversal from Balor, and it could be a huge turning point in this match as Balor goes back into the ring. And Finn Balor now looking on as McIntyre gets back to his feet. The Prince could be looking to fly. Finn Balor coming off the ropes now, and here comes Balor! Tope Con Hero coming down onto the Scottish Warrior. Beautiful dive from Finn Balor. And now the Prince has captured the momentum, and he's captured the hearts of the PTW fans. Finn Balor bringing McIntyre back into the ring here. And he could be looking, but now Heenan, what's he doing? He's signaling up on the stage. Is he calling in reinforcements? Calling in the backup, and here they are. The Heenan family. You had to have known this was coming. Randy Orton, Wade Barrett, and Andrade making their way out onto the stage. As Bobby Heenan, you knew he was gonna have a backup plan if this matchup didn't go his way, and here it is. The Heenan family are out here now, staring down with Finn Balor. Balor, though, he's gotta focus on this matchup back into the ring, but he runs right into the Glasgow Kiss and the Future Shock DDT. Future Shock from McIntyre and the cover. Balor kicks out. Bobby Heenan called for backup, and he almost got Drew McIntyre the win right there with that Future Shock. But now McIntyre looking to put it away, looking to put the nail in the coffin with the Claymore kick. This is how he promised he would end this matchup, with a Claymore. But oh, there's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler coming for backup. We saw him talking to Balor earlier, and now he's following through on his word. But the numbers game could be too much here. The Heenan family, as now he shoves away Orton, but Wade Barrett, a bullhammer. But he just hit Andrade. Andrade's knocked out with the bullhammer. Wade Barrett holding him up. He just knocked out his own partner. He just knocked out Andrade. And now Dolph Ziggler spearing them both through the curtain. And they all fall into the back. Dolph Ziggler literally taking him out in this matchup right through the curtain. Ziggler has come to back up the Prince as Finn Balor now. Shotgun dropkick takes out McIntyre. And Balor could be looking to put it away. Finn Balor looking for the coup de grace. McIntyre is down, he's laid out, and Balor. But now, and there's Randy Orton. The other member of the Heenan family who was not taken out is now McIntyre, springing on the top rope. Finn Balor pushing him off. McIntyre hanging there, but oh, look at the strength of McIntyre. Pulls himself up from the tree of woe and just throws Finn Balor off the top rope. Randy Orton is still at ringside. He was not taken out by Dolph Ziggler, and he provides the distraction. Now McIntyre lining up the kill shot, courtesy of the Claymore kick. He's calling for it. Balor though dodges it, and now Balor, 1916. He plants McIntyre, and this could be the moment. This could be the moment for Finn Balor. You gotta do it now. No more distractions. Finn Balor bringing McIntyre into position. Randy Orton is yelling at him, but Finn Balor fires the gun and pays him no mind. Coup de grace. Coup de grace by Balor.
1, 2, 3.
And Finn Balor has done it. He has defeated Drew McIntyre, overcoming all the distractions thrown at him by the Heenan family. He had backup in Dolph Ziggler, but it was still, in the end, he had to overcome Randy Orton as well. Finn Balor gets a huge victory over Drew McIntyre here tonight. And the Heenan family, they think they can attack everybody. But now, here's Randy Orton. Randy Orton now standing face to face with the Prince, Finn Balor. And now Drew McIntyre back to his feet as well. And you don't be thinking this could be another assault from the Heenan family. It's 2-on-1 now. Dolph Ziggler's gone. But now there's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins coming to the ring. I didn't think he was going to be here. I didn't think he was going to help. It certainly didn't sound like it. Seth Rollins, I thought he wanted nothing to do with Finn Balor. But now standing at his side to face off with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, to face off with the Heenan family. And now Bobby Heenan. Heenan's calling off the troops here. He's telling Orton and McIntyre to back off. I don't think they want to back off, but they will listen to Heenan here. As Seth Rollins coming to the aid of Finn Balor. I didn't think he would. I really didn't think he would do it. But Seth Rollins, perhaps a change of heart from the Architect as he joins Finn Balor to face the Heenan family.